Hey guys, it's Trails and Tribulations. We're back. Haven't been on the trail much lately and otherwise engaged. But today we are going to hike at Coventry Woods, which we've shown you before. This is a different trail though. It's the Rock Run access off of Hill Camp Road. And it's called Hill Camp Road because this used to be the summer camp of the Hill School, which is a pretty exclusive boarding school. Still in existence in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I'm sure if you look up Hill Camp School alumni, you'll find some pretty interesting names on that list, including Oliver Stone. I think he's a famous Hollywood producer, director. Did he do that Vietnam War movie? Saving Private Ryan?
No.
No?
He was,
well, I'm sure most of you have heard of him. I'm not really all that into movies. Most people are, though, so that might be of some interest to you. But we're going to hike along the trail here and come across some of what is left of the old camp. So we'll take you along. I don't think it's too far down this trail, right off of the road, that you come across an old pavilion with a fireplace. I think it used to be, you know, like a general camp building, gathering place. And then across from that is a lake, which I'm assuming, it's a small lake, it's not big, with a little bit of a dock. It used to be their swimming hole. Just really peaceful, because there's never really that many people on these trails in Coventry Woods, which was one of the reasons why I like coming here. It's not a state park, it's just a county park. So they tend to be a little less busy. And this turned out to be one of the nicer weekends of the summer. This is July 27th, I think? Something like that. Saturday.
26th.
It's a really nice, dry weekend. It's warm. Like I said, we have been otherwise engaged off the trails recently. And it's just been, I don't know. I work outside, so I don't really want to come home after work and go for a hike after being out in this brutal heat all day. You might feel differently, but I just want to come home and chill after working outside when it feels like 115 degrees out. But today, it's a beautiful day for a hike, so we figured we'd give it a try because I think it's going to get hot again. Plus, we have another channel that has been growing, actually earning some money from that. So that has taken up a considerable amount of our time in the last 5-6 months. So we're coming up on the ruins. Not sure if you can see that through the trees yet. And there is a bit of a trail that goes that way too. I'm not sure if that's an official trail. They have a information placard here too. You can see the old fireplace is still standing. Pretty formidable fireplace. So this is called the Gordon Tripp Clement Shelter. I guess if you want to read that, you can pause the video. It says, upon completion of this in March 1929, the Clement family gave the land and cabin to the Hill School. Let's take a look inside. I think at one point, I think this had burnt down, like arson or something, if I remember correctly. Which is a shame. You hate to hear stuff like that. Pretty cool fireplace. Says, in memory of a lad whose being glowed with the clean beauty of God's outdoors. Down there you can see the concrete dock into the lake. I mean, you can, you know, they got a couple of picnic tables in here. You could definitely have some lunch in here if you wanted to. I don't know if you're allowed to use the fireplace. I mean, I see some ashes in there. The ceiling is all wood, so I don't know, unsupervised out here, I'd be very skeptical of whether or not fireplace use is allowed, since I do believe this had already burnt down once. I'm not sure what this alcove is for. I'll go downstairs, go down the steps, and check out the lake. Really nice old stone foundation here. And the nice part about it is that there's no graffiti. This is a nice location. You could probably even have a lunch out here at the end of this little dock. It's just really peaceful out here, very quiet. I don't see any wildlife. I thought one of the last times we were here we saw some turtles, maybe?
A lot of fish down there.
Yeah, there's fish.
I just heard something go in the water while you were walking across.
I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the camera's picking up those fish. There are quite a few small fish. Some bigger fish over there. They appear to be the same kind. Love the way the trees reach over into the water. This, I think, looks like a black willow. I don't know. These look like alder trees to me. Some lily pads over there actually blooming too. Couple of white flowers on there. Dragonflies skimming the surface of the water. My kind of spot. I think we can get down to the other side of the dam there too. I can hear some water running, but we have not had a lot of rain this summer, so the water levels here are down a little bit. Cool little art installation. Nature's art. Some fish again. Yeah, so we are actually walking on the top of the dam here. Alright, so we're going to hit the trail now. So off of this dam, we're going to make a right. We went left. That would take us back to the car. Those are pretty much the only ruins here from the hill school camp. So to the right is going to take us in a loop, and we're actually going to come back to the car from the opposite direction. This is going to take us up to the meadow, which is a nice walk. It's a pretty large meadow. You can just walk right through it, or you can go around it. Usually it's kind of moist, I feel like, because we've had so little rain this summer. It should be dry, so that will be good. It's been a while since we've been on this trail. I don't think it's a particularly long hike or a particularly difficult hike, although I do feel like once you get past the meadow, there is one section that's a little bit of an incline.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Camera never picks up how big things are. That's actually quite a large stump. But it is quite rocky here. So just make sure you have proper footwear. Another rather large tree stump. So we are on the Green Blazed Trail, Rock Run Trail. I think that's the first green blaze I've seen. I'm not mistaken, the creek does run back in there, the creek that comes off the dam. Like I said, it's been so dry this summer. I don't hear any water or evidence of a creek. Doesn't mean it's not there, it's just not flowing enough to actually make its presence known. I see some kind of boundary marker. Doesn't have anything on it though. Usually in the early days they would mark like the path from Valley Forge to Reading, so people knew how far they were out or how much farther they had to go. I don't know that this was ever a track like that, so I'm not sure what that boundary marker is. I think we're all in the same township on this trail, so I don't think it's a township marker. Not sure. And here's another one, and I don't see anything on that one either. Maybe that was a boundary. Maybe it was the hill camp boundary. Not sure. So off the main trail, just see this little side track. I'm going to come off here and see what it leads to. Probably, I would imagine, the creek, but I don't know that we're actually going to see any water. Oh, I do see, yeah, the creek. It is quite low. I guess if you felt like fording the creek and going off that way, you could. Not sure where that goes, if that's private or not. Just barely hear a trickle. I do see a sign pulled up out of the ground over here. It says no unauthorized vehicles or ATVs. And it does say North Coventry boundary. Park boundary. So I'm guessing maybe the creek is kind of like the park boundary. I don't know where that sign came from. I guess maybe right there, but I'm not sure. Some mushrooms. Alright, let's get back on the main trail. We'll meet you back there.
And we're coming up to the meadow now. Just at the top of this little bit of an incline. Not much of an incline, but it is rocky. Very loose. And Rock Run Trail and the Meadow Trail,
which looks blocked that way. You used to be able to go up that way.
Yeah, they used to have this mode where you could go around.
Because straight is going to get us back to the trail, back to the car, but also would get you out to the main, what is that, Coventryville Trail at the top of Coventry Woods? If you wanted to come in from that direction.
All right. You can go to the right on the trail that we showed you, and it goes all the way around the whole meadow, comes back up to the top here, and then up in. It continues back on the Rock Run Trail. The other end of the meadow loop. Back into the woods.
Nice and shady.
And buggy. We'll pick this back up when we get to the top.
So that's where we just came from, through the meadow, headed up the incline a little bit to the rest of the meadow, which is just beyond a small patch of woods. Still on the Rock Run Trail, meadow trail. I think this is where I thought you come out of the woods and you can go left. And there's a meadow trail that loops up that way. We're headed straight into that other patch of woods, or you can take the meadow trail down that way. Really pretty vista up here to the northern Chester County countryside. But today we are going straight back into the woods. Quite a large meadow. Yeah, you can see the edge mowed at the edge of the meadow there. Goes all the way up and around, comes back. That, I believe, is northern Coventry Township. North Coventry Township, kind of like a supply shed. Looks like they have a bee box. That's new. I don't remember seeing this last time. I think it's kind of cool that all of these parks are becoming more pollinator aware, wildlife aware. Going back into the woods.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great. I like you, I can't wait. A first time.
Gonna do my Mandalorian thing again. Is that a bench? Actually, that was Book of Boba Fett, wasn't it? For all you movie buffs out there, I am into those kinds of movies. Just not the kinds of movies Oliver Stone produces. Well, that's a bench. Now we are hooking up with the Chestnut Hill Trail. So we're going to go left. Just came off the Rock Run Trail. The Chestnut Hill Trail, I believe you can go left or right. There's the Red Blaze Trail. You see a red blaze on the tree here. We're going uphill because that is going to get us back to our car quicker. So this is Rock Run and Chestnut Hill Trail for a while. I think the Chestnut Hill Trail, I don't know if it's a loop.
It is.
It is.
But this meets up with the Coventry Trail, and we'll be taking the Coventry Trail left. And that the Coventry and the Rock Run Trail will run together, and then the Rock Run will branch off and go back down to the left. Alright, so we're coming out of the Chestnut Hill Trail, Rock Hill Trail, and we're about to meet up with the Coventry Woods Trail, I believe it's called. Or it should just be called the Coventry Trail. That tree came down not too long, I guess, recently. But here is where we are.
So yeah, this is where we parked. We park here often too and come off of that trail. But today we parked down here. We came down here. Here's the meadow and the Rock Run Trail. This is where we met up with the Chestnut Hill Trail. Now we're here. And we're going to come back here, back to the parking lot. So this is the main parking area for Coventry Woods down at Fernbrook Access. And you can come up and access all of these trails from the main parking lot. Lots of trails, lots of parking access. And I believe the Coventry Trail is not actually in Coventry Woods. You can pick that up from outside the park. Take it in the park and it goes through. You can see it continues out to here. It's a nice little park for, you know, you can make these trails as long or as short as you want. There's all kinds of connector trails. So, you know, you can be here all day or you can be here for 45 minutes. Completely up to you. It's just a nice place, usually quiet. And they have a legend here with all the colors and what all the trails are. They do have bathrooms down at the Fernbrook Access. I believe they're porta potties. And they do have a nice pavilion down there too, with another really beautiful old fireplace. I think you can rent it. Right now we are at 800 feet in elevation and it's all downhill from here. So we're just going to continue on this trail. I don't think it's all that long. Oh look, there's another bench. So we'll pick you up if we see anything interesting. If not, we'll see you back at the trailhead. So after about a half a mile, I guess, we're coming up to another trail junction of the Great Oak Trail, the Rock Run Trail. The Great Oak goes down and straight. And again, we're coming off the Coventry Trail, but also the Rock Run Trail. So I think all three of them are going to run together now for a while.
No, the Coventry Trail goes down.
The Coventry Trail goes right. It's just not marked on the post. So the Coventry Trail and the Great Oak Trail go down that way. We're continuing on the Rock Run Trail
and the Great
Oak Trail. They're now blazed tan and green. And we've hiked the Great Oak Trail. We've hiked this trail quite a bit. Well, we've hiked the Great Oak Trail a couple of times and we've never actually come across a Great Oak. But driving here today, we did notice it's on private property, it's on a farm. There's a massive, I think it was an oak tree in the front yard of the farm. It's dead now, unfortunately, which is a shame. I don't think it was dead last time we drove by there, but it is massive. I'm wondering if that's the Great Oak, even though the Great Oak Trail does not go through there. It's not that far away, because it is certainly the biggest oak around here I've ever seen. Try to maybe get a picture of it on our way out. But judging by the girth of the trunk, I'd say it's probably 300 years old. Okay, I believe we're coming up to what is our final trail junction. So you can see this is the blaze for the rock run with the top blaze to the left, meaning we're going to be going off to the left here, back to the car. The Great Oak Trail. You can either turn right and go down that way. That's where we came from. Not sure what goes straight.
This is private property.
I think it's just private property, unnamed.
Tree farm.
I mean, I don't see any posted signs or, well, yeah, way up there, but so we are going to the left back to the car. We are now solely on the Rock Run Trail. Just one green blaze on the trees. I can hear a car on the street already, so we are coming close to the end. This part of the trail will take us right along the road, and to the left there will be an open field with, I feel like, what are some old hunting hides? And then not far from there, we will be back to the car and the trailhead. That's the road we came in on, so we're almost done now. Just cross this driveway. That field with the old hunting hides will be coming on the left shortly. Not sure what kind of butterfly that is. Bye. We just confirmed this has been 2 miles. I guess by the end it'll be about 2 1/4.
Trail is completely 2 miles.
The trail is completely 2 miles. Okay, so not 2 miles back there. The whole thing from where we started to where we finished is 2 miles. So again, not real long. So yeah, I mean, here's some of these old buildings. I don't know, that looks like an old pavilion to me, so maybe this was part of the hill camp too. Just not sure. It doesn't, there's no signs here or anything to tell you if this was part of their camp.
Well, on the placard there said something about skeet shooting, so maybe this was...
Oh, maybe this was for skeet shooting. It's kind of hard to see at this time of the year, but you can see there's the pavilion. There's an old... See if I can zoom in a little bit. Top of a building there. And then there's another building there. I mean, it's kind of tough to see at this time of the year. It's very overgrown. So we should be back to the car now fairly quickly. All right, well, we are back at the car. So we will finish up the end of the trailhead. So like I said, we're back at the car now. I think maybe we can show you a map. Let's see if there's a map on this placard. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing we showed you before. Coventry Woods Park. We are parked down here. The Rock Run access. So thanks for coming along today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.